is, but I think we live in a quite cool country. At least I am happy. And maybe you don't even notice it anymore, but there are some world-leading companies right in your Brainport backyard. Probably right now, you are using chips that were produced by an ASML machine, or will soon be very happy to go to a festival because of the great job Thermo Fisher is doing in the COVID-19 research. But also today, we have some pretty cool stuff going on in our Brainport hometown. Already seen this car? Or do you know Havel? And how about XYZ Dynamics? This could be you in a few years. But every company, also these giants and innovators, didn't start off with a finished and successful product. The ideas for companies like these often come into existence at a place and time where you would least expect it. It only takes some ambitious and bright minds to come up with game-changing ideas. And we know just the place. From dream to demo to impact. Welcome to the 2022 edition of the TUE contest.
Welcome at TUE Innovation Space. Hello everyone and a warm welcome to the TUE Contest 2022. A warm welcome to all the teams that are here. A warm welcome to all the partners that are here. Really great that you're here. And a warm, yay! Yay! And a warm welcome for all the people online, the family and friends, via the website. Also for you, a warm welcome. Also on the website you see more information on the participants, on the jury, on the network, and you can vote, but that comes later. We are now live at TUE Innovation Space. This is actually the place where students from all faculties, from all departments, work on challenges in an interdisciplinary way. And exchanging knowledge with researchers, with industry, with societal organizations. They do this within the curriculum, so in one of the many courses that we facilitate here, or that we have here, but also outside the curriculum. From this year on, we have 52 student teams now, under the umbrella of TUE Innovation Space. And this means more than 700 students, and they are collaborating with more than 500 external organizations. Well, as you can imagine, TUE contest fits really well in all this, because in the months previous to the contest, the students learn to sharpen their ideas, to write business proposals, to learn to pitch, but they also learn small things like maybe it's not a good idea to wear a t-shirt and shorts when you go meet a new business partner or sponsor. But they get a lot from the experience from the partners, from the businesses. So in that way, you're also helping and educating the engineer of the future, very important. And on the other hand, vice versa, students have their experience and fresh ideas. So yeah, consequently, it's lifelong learning, and it's one big win-win situation to us all. Well, that's also nice to celebrate here. Before we go over, whoever, by the way, is going to be the winners, thank you all the students for bringing in all your ideas, for being so involved and wanting to make impact. That's really, I really love that. Yeah. And of course, all the partners, thank you for your contribution and for all your support. It's also very, very important. But before we're going to start with the show, I'd like to go forward the president of the TUE Executive Board, and it's Robert Jan Smits. Hi, Robert Jan. A warm welcome. Again, I'm happy that you're in the chair, and also because you so much support the student teams, right? That's why I'm also happy that you're chairman of the jury again this year.
It's a big honor. Well, for me, you know, the student teams are the heart and soul of our university. Yeah. They are the face of the university in the region, but also at national and even European level. Yeah. So it's always a privilege for me to be here.
Yeah. And then the contest, because they're also, it's like also a bit of a breeding ground and also a way that they can further develop themselves. Also very important, of course.
Absolutely. The contest brings out the very best in people. Yeah. And that's why I'm very curious to see who will make it. But for me, whatever happens, all of the participants are winners.
Yeah, yeah. And then for the students it's quite exciting, but I can imagine maybe also for you as a chair, because, I mean, you have some decisions to make because it's all such a great plans.
Absolutely. I mean, it's serious business, and also there are rewards at stake for the ones who win. Yeah. And look at the past, what happened to those who have won. So, I mean, there's a lot at stake, and we will do, with the jury, a serious job in making sure that we go for the very best. But once again, everyone who participates is, for me, already a winner.
Yeah. For me too! Yay!
Yo!
Thank you so much. Well, for now you can relax and sit down, because we're going to watch all the pitches.
I see a comfortable sofa over there. Yes. I use that one. Thanks.
Here, sit here, yeah. Yes, we going to go to the first categories. We've got 3 categories: ideation, prototyping, and student teams. And in this first one, it's great ideas and they're ready for the next step. And first in is Agrotrack.
Hi, I'm Kevin from Team Agrotrack, and we are building a solution to help reduce food insecurity in Africa by providing smallholder farmers better access to finance. I grew up in a rural area with my grandma, who is a farmer, and I witnessed at first hand how difficult it was for her to raise money to buy farm inputs at the start of every farming season. She couldn't get access to formal credit because she didn't have the needed information that could speak to the health of a farm business. In Ghana alone, out of 3.5 million smallholder farmers, about 80% do not have access to formal credits because they don't have the necessary information. This causes them to have low yields. To bridge the information and finance gap, Agrotrack is building the technology platform that would collect data on smallholder farmers, create a credit profile for them, and connect them to credit providers to increase their access to finance. Currently, we are building a minimum viable product that should be ready by end of 2022 for testing, and we are looking for partners to join us.
Give it up for Agrotrack! Woohoo! Well done, Jasmine. And next one up is Genesis.
As we know, conventional farms raise 2 major problems that need to be solved: resource scarcity and environmental damage. Yet, what if we could both make farmers more profitable and save the environment at the same time? Introducing Genesis. Welcome to the vertical future of farming, a shipping container with fully automated machinery that will grow, plant, and harvest and take care of the plant through its whole life cycle. Or in simple terms, the most efficient way of farming in the 21st century. And the facts speak for themselves. Genesis is much more efficient in utilizing scarce resources, like water or suitable land area. At the same time, Genesis is more environmentally friendly due to the integration of renewable energy. And we believe that with our powers combined, we can create a better world for future generations to come.
Hi, my name is Lisa, and today I will tell you something about Mitra, your friend in need when it comes to preventive healthcare. So why is prevention important and urgent? Well, first of all, we need to prioritize health, just like education. Next to that, healthcare costs have risen to 86.7 billion euros this year, mostly because of lifestyle diseases such as diabetes, Alzheimer's, and cardiovascular disease. We also know that preventing disease is better than curing them. Yet, implementing lifestyle changes is hard, especially alone. When it comes to your health and prevention, Mitra will be your friend in need. Mitra will give you an insight into your data from your wearables and your phone. Share this with your healthcare professional who can support you, making it easier to implement lifestyle changes. Mitra is a tech, female-led organization who aim to make preventive healthcare accessible to all. All of that at the flick of your wrist.
Give it up for Mitra! And now it's time for Metaseum!
When was the last time you saw something innovative at the museum? Study shows that there has been a decrease of visitors over the last few years, which is due to the lack of innovation, especially when it came to the pandemic, in which the Louvre has lost 80% of their visitors in 1 year time. This is following a declining trend over the last 40 years, and especially when it comes to the younger generation of 17 years old. This is why we offer the Metaverse of Culture, a digital space where museums, monuments and galleries come together in one space. And for these customers, we offer an immersive experience, worldwide accessibility, a new revenue stream, and a technological trend that they can follow and participate in this growing economy, which is worth over $13 trillion in 8 years' time. Together with our team of 15 people, our partners, and the funding of this contest, we can create our own NFT space.
An overstimulating workspace. Nobody wants that. It becomes difficult to perform at the required level and can lead to negative effects such as stress and burnouts. A study published last month in the Netherlands stated that 37% of employee absences are caused by stress-related matters. This number is simply way too high and has to be reduced. That is exactly what T- is working on. We want to make the workspace a more comfortable environment where overstimulation is taken into account. That is why we are currently working on an overlay for digital planners, which calculates information flow based on the user's agenda. Our overlay offers user adaptability, a self-learning system, and a user-friendly interface. With this, we aim to make the workspace a more comfortable environment, not only for the current generation of employees, but also for ourselves in the future. We are Minus.
Give it up for Minus! And we're up for Scope!
The intern recruitment process is far too costly at the moment. Recruiters from these companies have not only validated this problem with me, but have also expressed that they feel out of touch with what students want to get out of their internships. What if I told you that Scope can offer your company a solution that will save you tens of thousands of euros that would have otherwise gone wasted on headhunters? Scope aims to be the future-proof recruitment platform that will provide your company with a matching service to select top candidates for your positions. Not only this, you'll also be able to select the specializations working for you, customize questions up front, and be able to post onto multiple platforms at just a click of a button. Scope will partner up with Dutch universities and provide you access to a wide network of highly motivated students. We'll also offer you workshops to make sure you get the most out of Scope. Don't you want a head start on a future-proof recruitment process? Become our launching customer and help us set standard for recruitment.
Farmers around the world are working hard to get by. This farmer here invested in solar panels in order to generate some extra revenue while also contributing to a greener future. Unfortunately, there's a problem. An estimated 60% of the energy is lost, simply because the grid cannot handle this amount of power. If we as a planet want to become fully sustainable, problems like this need to be solved. And we have the solution. By developing a small-scale energy system that can store the green energy in hydrogen, nothing is lost anymore. Solar panels power the production of hydrogen, after which it will be distributed to various applications. The farmers earn what they are entitled, and we help kickstart the hydrogen transition. Shift will focus on two things. One, developing the energy system which is completely safe and certified, and two, establish the distribution networks between the farms and the various applications. We are quick, agile, and want to make an impact. Join us and help kickstart the hydrogen transition.
Give it up for Shift! Nice, guys. And now there is the opportunity for you online to actually vote, but there's only one time you can vote. It's for the Audience Award. So maybe you already have your favorite and you know it's in this category, then you can of course vote. Or you hold your horses and wait for the next categories. Haha, it's up to you. And now, I'm going to introduce to you the jury of Ideation. Well, Robert Jan, we already know. But then we have Luc Rutgers, here of the Groene Hagedorn Bouwgroep. It's a family business in construction. And, well, we're dealing now with very innovative ideas. And also your company has to deal in this rapidly world with this. So maybe you have some overall advice for the students.
Well, keep up with the slogan lifelong learning, of course, because every company has to adapt, and we keep learning as a platform for adoption of new ideas and generate new insights. And also we can address new challenges that we're facing. For instance, we're working a lot of our workers in inner cities, and we see a shift of parking spaces. So we have to come up with new ideas to to still keep on working with less space. So that's one of our challenges.
Yeah, yeah, nice. And next to you is Sjaak Spreeuw of the National Police. You're the strategic advisor on technology and innovation. And I guess if you think of the Dutch police, then we think of police agents or getting fines and stuff. But actually, you're dealing with a lot of technology as well, right?
Yes. Our company is always looking for at the outside world and what we can use for our inside organization. And well, we have a population of 65,000 people, but only 32,000 are working on the street or working at the investigation, and the rest of them working in the back office. So also ICT or human resources. So we're always looking for people who are very smart and can help us to make Netherlands safer.
Well, if you look for smart people, you're really in the right place, Sjaak. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think.
Next to you is Jeroen van Nistelrooy from Vanderlande. Yeah, Vanderlande is about logistics, logistic process automation, but it's airport, it's warehousing, it's parcel. But you also say it's future-proof. How do you stay future-proof? Can you share that secret with us?
Yeah, I think the first thing that we did is set up a special department for it, an innovation department with a lot of brilliant people with the same mindset and energy as what I feel over here. Next to what we manage is a healthy backlog where we focus on the right balance between incremental, so things that we can bring to our market on a short time, but also the transformational stuff where we have strong connections also with academia. And I think one thing to mention, which is also interesting to know, is that we have a similar setup as what we do over here with an internal Dragon's Den, where we also people invite to inspire and to explore and also judge on it. That's how we create really an innovative mindset in the company.
Do you do that internally, or are we all invited also to come and pitch in your...
We have an award coming up later on, and that's connected to that. So we will invite them to our own Dragon's Den. So.
Great,
thanks.
Nice. Thank you. And then if you pass it on to Gert Gouri, for example. Hi, Gert. You're part of our team. You're a coordinator of education and entrepreneurial learning. And you're also working on professionalizing like the whole contest and also the route in advance, right?
Yeah, actually the idea is that student teams do not come out of nothing, so they need coaching, they need support. And the earlier we start with that, the better. And we are here not to provide advice. We are a mirror where they can see themselves, they can improve themselves, and we try to help them in this process, starting from the very beginning until this day. Yeah. So even today I had some teams coaching, very briefly.
Nice. And next to you, an old colleague, but we're still colleagues, right, in the region?
Yeah, it feels like that.
From the TU, from Innovation Space, and now Mikrocentrum. I don't, for the people that don't know what Mikrocentrum is, it's nothing to do with very micro.
No, it's big.
It's very big, right?
Yeah.
And also, what can you say? Because you've been in the jury for a long time. And what do you see overall, like the tendencies of this edition?
Definitely more impact ideas over the years. Like 90% of the stuff that I've seen this time is also connected to a better, greener, more sustainable, healthier world. Yeah. That's what I really like. I think they get better and better and better. Like pitching has really improved in the overall the edition. So pitches get better, business cases also get better, and I hope to see the first idea this edition or next that will not turn into a company but into a foundation, because many ideas are good, and then there's always this question, how you can make money with it, but some ideas are that good, and that perhaps a foundation or another form could also work to bring it to society. I don't know, it's always about the money, but there are so many good ideas also in this edition.
Maybe at the end we collect some money for a good idea that maybe it's not going to be a company, but you really want it to be there. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. And thank you for being there again. And I would like to call you forward, Robert-Jan, because you've been deciding who goes to the top two. So this is like the Dragon's Den we're going to start now. And then the jury can ask all these questions. And I must say, you've now seen the pitches, but the jury has been really examining the business proposals and the plans and whatever. So it's more based actually on that. Yes, and I would like to know, Robert-Jan, do you first want to say something overall in this category, or you just want to go bam to the one of the top two?
We keep the suspense, so there will not be a bam. First of all, to thank this amazing jury for outstanding work. And that's, by the way, also the fact for the other jurors we'll meet later on, that they dedicate their time to our contest is, of course, amazing. Tough decisions had to be made. That's why I took off my jacket as well. You know, we're all sweating. But I will not keep the suspense for much longer. I'm going to open the envelope and read out the names of the top 2.
The first one is... Shift! Hey! Well done. And the yelling was nice. Maybe it helped.
Yeah.
And then, the number 2, who they're going to be competing.
Agrotrack.
Agrotrack! Whoa! Well done. Okay, thank you, Robert-Jan. I'm going to invite you, please come forward. And yeah, let's start with Agrotrack. Here I have a microphone hidden for you. And maybe you can say something briefly, and then there's questions from the jury.
Oh, something briefly?
I thought...
Okay. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous. So.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Everything is said.
Okay, so we are building a solution that would leverage alternative data, machine learning, and data analytics to provide alternative credit scoring for smallholder farmers so that they can be able to access credit in Ghana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. First question, I think by Luc.
Yes, thanks. You were presenting your business model that you're going to sell the app to the farmers.
Yep.
And we talked about it during the workshop.
Yeah.
Why not give it to them so they can collect their data? And maybe you can explain a little bit more on those thoughts.
Okay. So, well, we could give it to them for free, but the cultural setting of Africans, and in particular Ghana, is that when they have something for free, they don't value it. So we want them to pay a little subscription so that they would know that, okay, this is where our money is going, and would value the product we are giving them. That's why we want to build them. But it wouldn't be something that would put them at a detriment or would cost them so much.
So they get a little bit more ownership of their
Exactly.
data, and they
Yes.
are going to use it more.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Jacques?
Hello.
Hello.
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
The first question is, why Ghana? Why not other countries beyond Ghana?
Okay, so I'm from Ghana, and yeah, so I'm starting from the setting that I know and have more knowledge of. But the idea is, in the future, we want to extend to other African countries, because Ghana is not the only African country that is faced with this problem. So we will extend to Africa, but we are starting from Ghana because that is where we know. That's the markets we know.
Okay, thank you for that answer.
Yeah.
Did you look at the way of microcredits, like our Queen Maxima is ambassador of that? Did you know the existence of that?
No. Microcredit, no, I don't know the existence of...
Well, that's a form which they use on country like Ghana, small credits,
yep.
to help the farmer to grow.
Oh, okay.
Jacques will tell you everything about it
yeah.
later.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there any other questions from, we still have a minute, Gert? Yeah, you want to say?
Well, I want to give you a suggestion.
Yes.
Maybe you can look at it,
Yep.
and maybe you can combine it with your very valuable app.
Okay, thank you.
Very quick. So out of 80% of farmers not having access now,
Yes.
after your solution, how much you reduce it, more or less?
Say again?
Out of 80%, now they don't have access to the
Yes,
credit,
yes.
no? Implementing your solution, how much you reduce this 80%?
Okay, so our first target is, in the first year, we want to reduce this by at least 10%. And then afterwards, we see how we can expand. And this is, of course, limited to the resources we have at hand.
It's 10% is already enough.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
We still have time. One last question, Bert-Jan, yeah?
Yeah, there's many services involved in your business model. Will you all launch them at once, or are you planning to schedule them one by one?
Okay, so we start with the credit risk profiling, and the success of that would let us do the crowd farming because it would build off the data we get from the credit risk scoring platform. So it's the crowd farming is scheduled after the credit risk profiling.
Thank you. Clear?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
well
you.
done. Give it up for Agrotrack. Next up, Shift. It's Ivo himself who's going to go. Yes. Good luck, man.
Thanks a lot. Before we start, I want to apologize for my voice.
What
I
happened?
did a little bit of too much networking an hour ago, and my voice has given up. But I'm trying my best, okay? So my name is Ivo van der Peet, and we, together with Shift, want to accelerate the hydrogen transition to have a greener future. So ask away, I would say.
Yes. Jeroen has a question?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for the great pitch. Really liked it. This is about transforming solar to hydrogen.
Yes.
Where my question would be, how close by are we with technology? How close by are we with viable technology? And do you have a network in place? You were just saying you were a networker, but what kind of network do you have to come up with viable technology quick? Because I think it can be done now, but how?
Yeah, so to answer your question, definitely the technology is far enough to currently be able to implement this as a solution, right? Companies like VDL, who I think are in the audience as well, Demcon, I can name tens of companies who are working on hydrogen technology. The technology is there. The problem is currently no one has the balls to actually put it somewhere. And we need someone like Shift to have the balls to make an impact. So we are in talks with companies like VDL and other development companies, and we want to do the system integration of developing such a hydrogen system, and then put it somewhere, show that it works, show the world that it works, and this way we can kickstart the hydrogen transition. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Bert-Jan?
Is it legal? Because it's a farm, agricultural, according to zoning plan and Dutch law. Can you build a hydrogen installation next to a farm?
That's a very good question indeed. So many people are rather afraid of new technologies that they don't yet understand. We are currently in talks with insurance companies like Unive and Interpolis, who are like the main insurance companies where farmers are tied to. Actually, we have an appointment set with Unive in 2 weeks to discuss this, to talk about this. So what would they suggest us to do, and to what extent would this be possible? We already know right now, if we want to widely implement this, it is indeed not yet legal. But what we see with new technologies is the law adapts, right? We want to become more sustainable as a country, so the law must adapt. For the short term, we want to do a pilot project. So this is one subsidy project and only putting one scale model of this system somewhere. And this is allowed. So for the short term, we're okay. For the long term, we'll have to do some lobbying, and maybe you guys can help with that as well.
Happy to help, and you will make the angry farmers a bit less angry if you see
absolutely.
the earnings that they will have extra each month. So well done. Great pitch. Thanks.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Yeah, Luc?
Is your plan to focus only on farmers, or do you have bigger thoughts?
Okay, so indeed that's a very good question as well. The farmer market in the Netherlands is not that big. We can expand very much further as well. So basically our solution would be possible as an application for anywhere where there is sustainable energy generation. So anywhere where there are solar panels or windmills, our solution would be feasible. We are starting out at farms because of certification and legislation issues. We can also put our system maybe in the center of a city, but probably it will be very much more difficult to get certified there. And at a farm, there's a lot of space. We can put the system somewhere at the back of the farm where no one even has to see it. And also, farmers are currently a lot in the news, right, for sustainability-related reasons. So we want to help change their image. We want to help solve net congestion, because farmers are also the cause, or solar panels on the roofs of farmers are also the cause of this. So for our case, farmers are the low-hanging fruit, our starting point, and later we want to expand to different markets where sustainable energy is generated.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah? All clear? Okay, great. Well, we're gonna hear the verdict later, but thank you so much for now.
Thank you.
Shift, Ivo. And it's funny what you say, because I started saying at the beginning that in the lifelong learning from companies, it's interesting to hear the fresh ideas. Well, as Ivo puts it, also that students maybe have more balls. But I think it also in the fact that we hear that more from companies, that if you have a large company and you want to try out things, it is way easier for a bunch of students to try out things. So in a way, they can be like pioneering in many ways. So that's also a great advantage of being a student still. Anyways, as you were referring also, Ivo, with his voice, we had a network market and it was just before the contest. And here's a short impression of how it was. How is it here, the network market?
Oh, the network market is very nice. So a lot of enthusiastic people, people that are with fresh ideas, new concepts, and are interested in propelling their ideas, but also in looking for partners, how to achieve them. This is I think very inspiring, and also matches with our ambition.
It's actually here, it's happening here right now.
Indeed, as we speak, indeed.
Thank you so much. I'm going to ask some students what they think of it.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, you too. Hi. Could I ask you what you think of the network market?
Well, it's very good. Like, I'm constantly looking around at all these new companies, looking them up, like, oh, what do you do, what do you do? So I'll be sure, not everyone is there, but I'll be sure I already found some that I want to have a conversation with.
And you?
Yeah, it's been really fun just talking to different people, networking, just getting to know what each company's about and what they like to do. So it's been fun,
Is it also for your career that you kind of focus on, where could I work, or who could I partner up with, or?
Well, for me, it's mostly partnering up, getting to know the people, like what could they possibly offer for me? Can I approach them maybe for help? Can I offer something to them? It's really, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what I want to do, but it definitely helps to see my options and see what different places I could potentially work at. It's given me more guidance on that kind of stuff, so yeah.
Hi. We're about to start already with the contest again. Are you looking forward?
I'm really looking forward and want to see what the students come up this year.
And we're ready here for the next category, and this is prototyping. And here is already, they developed the prototype, and also they're ready for the next step. And now we're going to watch all the pitches, and we're going to start with battery.
Regardless of how many solar panels are placed in the Netherlands, we'll never be able to rely purely on solar energy. This is because most of the energy is produced during the day, but at night no energy is produced, meaning we have to rely on solutions such as natural gas. Well, most people think, well, just store this excess energy in lithium-ion batteries, but the problem is there isn't enough lithium-ion on the world to store all this energy in. So we as Team Battery found a solution in redox flow batteries. These batteries are, unlike current batteries, safe to produce, are cheap to produce, have materials, have components that are easily replaceable, and are working on the most abundant material on Earth, called iron. With this technology, we can make a crucial step towards the transition of green energy.
Give it up for battery! Nice. And next one up is Ibril!
Hi. Did you know that 1 in 10 of the visually impaired population is able to read and write in Braille? Braille literacy is declining quicker than ever, and we need to take action. I'm Mahmoud from the eBraille team, and we look forward to stopping this huge waste of human potential of future scientists and leaders. The eBraille is a simple handheld device that a user can use to swipe against any Braille surface and be able to listen to its meaning in real time. Our market is towards the visually impaired students and newly diagnosed patients. However, we look to expanding the use cases to include to help the visually impaired be more independent and regain and explore new domains. We are currently in the prototyping phase, looking to patent the technology and, of course, looking to grow the team further. We believe that today a reader, tomorrow a leader. That's why we already started on the eBraille. The question is, do you want to be part of this journey and become tomorrow's leader?
Electric vehicles play a significant role in the energy transition. However, users are hesitant to make the switch due to multiple factors. For example, there are 3.5 electric vehicles per charging station in Europe. Diesel vehicles are still cheaper to buy, and users are anxious to rely on vehicles with limited charging range. Dynamic wireless charging proposes solving these issues by charging your vehicles while in motion. A coil on the road produces a magnetic field which induces an electric current in your vehicle in a coil placed inside your vehicle, thus charging its battery. However, this technology is far from the public eye due to its lack of efficiency and excessive cost. This is where Team InCharge enters the scene. The team's mission is to make this technology more affordable and efficient by utilizing different materials in its mechanism. The team is currently building a scaled-down prototype where we are testing these issues, and more is to come. The implications of this technology are endless. The energy, logistics, and mobility sector could be transformed to the most efficient form, steering Earth back to a sustainable trajectory.
Team InCharge! And we're going for MultiRotorResearch!
When I was 15 years old, I received from Santa Claus my first phone. I went outside to take it for a test flight, but after 10 minutes it was already over with the fun, because my drone was stuck in a tree. This is what MultiRotorResearch wants to solve. We use a unique way of artificial intelligence, where we use a single AI model which performs the entire task of navigation. Our system is also trained on human flying behavior, making it able to avoid obstacles in even the most difficult situations. By using our smart AI, our drones can be used for important tasks like inspecting the safety of our infrastructure or delivering medical supplies in an emergency situation. We already currently have one paying customer and are in contact with multiple other interested parties. We at MultiRotorResearch build autonomous drones that will change the world.
PAKT started with a very simple question. What is the difference between a drinking glass and a container glass? The difference is that the drinking glass, we clean it once we have used it, but the container glass is thrown away after only a single usage. In the Netherlands alone, we produce over 500 million kilograms of glass packaging like this each year. That are over 367,000 cars in CO2 equivalents. If we would, however, start to reuse the glass packaging, we can reduce the CO2 emissions by 85%. That's why we are building the first circular return system for all glass packaging. We will collect the glass, sort it, clean it, and then prepare it for reuse. Our system is container independent, so you can hand in all your types of glass, and we apply it on a large scale. Thereby we can achieve the efficiency not only to make it more sustainable, but even cheaper. So please, help us to build a system towards a world without packaging waste.
Give it up for PAKT! And next one up is Palma!
Recently, I went to a concert, and at that concert I was in a bad location, so I didn't take too many pictures. But the people around me were taking a lot of pictures. So I was wondering, how can I share and view the pictures of events where there's a lot of people where you don't have the contact details of? Well, that's where Palm comes into play. With Palm, you can relive the experiences of an event and see it through the lenses of all the people that were there. You scan a Palm QR code, and then you go to a page where you can view and share all the pictures of the event. You can download them, and you can win a prize if you share the best pictures. You can also see all the pictures of the event on the big screens around you. For event organizers, this is nice because people start sharing more photos while the event is still going on, so they get extra free marketing. Palm is free to download, you don't need to make an account, it's privacy friendly, and it's already been tested during the first event, so go check it out in the Play Store or App Store.
Hi, I'm Arjo, and last year I have created multiple AR and VR visualizations for the Ministry of Defense. There I noticed how useful these visualizations can be for projects that involve multiple stakeholders and require spatial planning. However, creating these is really expensive because they require developers and 3D artists. So that is why I founded Shape Reality, with the goal of making this process more intuitive and more accessible. We have currently a working prototype with which anyone can create 3D visualizations in AR and VR without prior knowledge on these technologies. And we have tested the product with potential customers, and we're really looking forward to having you being a tester as well. So if you're interested, contact us at contact@shapereality.io.
Give it up for XR Designer! Yoo-hoo! And for the people at home, you can vote again, of course. Do it on the button on the right side. But we still have one category, so it's a bit up to you. If you think maybe one of these, then write it down and then see later, or vote now. It's up to you. And I'm going to introduce you to the jury of this category, prototyping. First of all, above left is Koen van Achtmaal of Kroonwolter and Dros. Yeah, it's one of the largest system integrators in the Netherlands. I think mainly in 3 businesses, right?
Yes, we have 3 business groups. One is non-residential, the industry and infrastructure. And we have several disciplines as well, like system engineering, installation and maintenance as well. Due to that, I'm also part of one of the ventures. It's called Technical Automation and Information. And for example, we develop software for industrial purposes, or for factories, or also for energy systems like smart grids.
Nice. And also, they also have a prototype. What can you say in this phase? What would you advise them?
I would really suggest them to think about their assumptions and a way to how they can quick and dirty do some verifications with the end users. And it can be anyone, close to themselves, but really think about how you can verify your prototype or quick and dirty prototypes in the market.
Yeah, yeah. Great, thank you. Next to you is Daan Wouters of VO Patent and Trademarks. Yeah, students are always thinking also about patents and when should they think about it or whatever. Can you say something overall? Can you advise something patent-wise?
Thank you for your introduction. Indeed, we hear also during this event, I heard a lot of questions from student teams on how to approach intellectual property. And for starting teams, that can be an issue, and they have to, at least what I can advise generally, is to take into account these issues on an early stage in your project. Make a team member responsible for IP, and take into account what you do during your daily communications with partners, with potential customers, to make sure that you disclose what you need without harming potential future IP, your IP position.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And they can always come to you, right, for advice?
Right. We have a location here on site on the campus even.
That's great. And next to you, Bart Hollands from the Ministry of Defense. You're an innovation strategist at the Royal Netherlands Army. Do you have some examples of what you're actually working on?
Yeah, of course I do. And to be honest, most of the challenges that we face at the military are very similar to challenges that we face in society. So, for example, we have a large energy transition track in my department, but we also have a robots and autonomous system unit that experiments with all kinds of AI, and pretty similar to some of the projects that I've seen here as well.
Yeah. Nice. And next to you is Ronald Udo from Marinus Logistics. Yeah, it's a huge company. It's port logistics, it's office system solutions for roads, oceans, air, international. I mean, that's logistics within the company as well, I can imagine.
Yes, there certainly is. So, as an example, how we'll get to this conference, it's by bike. It's logistics.
Yeah, logical way to do. And do you have some advice apart from traveling by bike whenever possible?
Yes, I do. For SO2 innovation, I think it's important. It's a rough trip, and you will make errors. It's hard work. You need to be persistent, and it's good that you work in teams because it gives you energy. And if you feel like, oh, I get stuck, then please touch base with the others, and you will help yourself. And you'll make errors, but you will overcome it and be successful.
Yeah. Nice, good advice. If you could pass on the microphone to Umberto Feo from Ernst & Young. Yeah, it's one of the largest professional services networks in the world. And I saw a quote of you, and I thought it was quite funny to say it out here. I believe entrepreneurship and innovation are the ingredients of a successful professional company, rather than buzzwords to use during business meeting or business events or startups. I thought, so maybe you can say something about the importance of innovation and entrepreneurship.
Yes. Of course, I like provocative kind of statements. And then the point is that I think that in 2022 it's very easy to talk about something because every piece of knowledge is quite accessible. So everybody is able to talk about innovation. It's very easy. But the difference nowadays is between people that talk about innovation and make innovation happening for real. So this is a little bit of what got me frustrated out of the venture capital environment I was working in, and I moved into paradoxically the makers in such a big corporate, because you can imagine with 300,000 people in so many countries, we have super smart people, and also us as consultant, we move from talking to making. So a big invitation to come and see what we're doing.
Nice. Thank you so much. And next to you, Gustav Savenijen. You're the executive vice president of the VDL Group. I can say that in Dutch. It's a group and not group. And yeah, you're a familiar face because you also helped up setting up the high-tech systems center here with the Maarten Steinboeg and the engine.
The engine.
So happy to be here. And probably then it's also for you, you do this because you think collaborating and working interdisciplinary is very important, right? I can imagine. Yes. Yeah.
I talk to the audience and not to the camera. Yes, of course. The HTSC and the engine, and also systems engineering, which we are promoting together with Robert Jan and some other deacons, is very important. And I learned that during my stay at NatLab. So I want to talk a little bit
back
about
in the days at
Philips research, but back in the old days it was real physics and mechanics. It was the good old NatLab. And everything we earn our money today in Eindhoven, except DAF, is NatLab. And I'm not boosting. I'm not like I was there all the time. But I've seen magnetic resonance rising at the NatLab, now at Philips. I've seen electron microscopy rising. Used to be Philips Optics, and then Fey, and now Thermo Fisher. And last but not least, ASML. And they all came up a little bit as byproducts, because we needed them to do research or make chips. And funny enough, all the products we invented these products for are gone, lost, first to Japan, and then to Korea, and now the Chinese are taking over. What stayed is high-tech equipment. And for high-tech equipment, you need a certain kind of mentality. That's why I'm very happy to see what you're doing here, because you are a lot more dynamic than we were when I was young. So applause for yourself there, really. But you need a certain mentality for this. Nobody can do it on its own. So you need teamwork. And what we need in the region is an area where there is always somebody near to you at arm's length that is better than you in math or electronics or physics, and you go there. So if you're a mechanical engineer and you want to develop an engine, don't try to do the mathematics of magnetic fields. Go to a specialist. Same for the physicist. If you want the equipment to do experiments, go to the mechanic guy. And you need a certain mentality for that. So when you have a problem, the first thing to do is not try to solve it yourself. You make at least 5 phone calls, at least 5. And I'm sure you'll have found somebody who can do it better. If you can't, then you do it yourself. And in doing so, you learn very fast. You yourself become very fast a top engineer on all these competences. So if you would ask me what tip I would have, ask me.
What tip do you have, Gustav?
First, find in the region, because on every aspect there is one in the region within 15 kilometers, I promise you, that can solve your problem. Try to find him. Build your network.
Okay, wow, the tip was all short all of a sudden. Thank you so much. And nice to have this little insight, and also for the younger generation, that, you know, there was at the base of the DNA of this region is this collaboration, interdisciplinary working, and finding people. And then would you hand over the microphone to the scientific director of TUE Innovation Space and the founding mother, so to say, because it was within the university that you thought it was important to have this interdisciplinary working from all departments, also with industry, and to have students being entrepreneurial and also teach them that, right?
Yes, yeah, that's really necessary. It was also said that we need this action orientation. This is dealing with uncertainty, having the balls, we already heard. So this is the entrepreneurial spirit, and I think we want to educate the engineers of the future. This is what we do with our challenge-based learning concept, the vision also of the education, also what the student teams do, and there, this entrepreneurial mindset is key, I think, next to the system thinking and having some disciplinary depth, but also the broad aim to collaborate with many people. Yeah.
And that's what's done here. So
Yes.
thank you so much. And collaborating with me also. Yeah, there's a fan base. Yes, I would like to call forward the chairman again, because we're all curious now who will go to the Dragon's Den. Yes, Robert-Jan, you look a bit, yes.
You notice that I rolled up my sleeves.
Yes, it's getting harder and harder, right?
Harder and harder work. Again, first of all, congratulations. Again, fantastic pitches, fantastic projects, great work of the jury, so we can only be grateful to them. Yeah. And I have here the envelope with the two.
Okay. And the first is...
Battery!
Battery! Congratulations. And the second?
There is indeed a second. MultiRotor.
MultiRotorResearch! Great. Well, have a seat because we're going to watch them. Let's start with Battery. Please come forward for your pitch. Yes? Or pitch, it's mainly questions, Goof, actually. First question, I think it is, do you want to say one line or you think they know? And I think they know. Yeah, they know. Dan was actually wanting to have the first question. Is there still a microphone in the house? Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for your great pitch earlier. I think it's clear that you have a topic which can have a big and societal impact. I would like to use a question here to ask you a little bit more on your business proposition. Can you elaborate a bit more on the actual product you want to sell, and how do you want to recuperate your research cost, and which are your primary customers?
Yeah, so what we are doing is not actually making a business, but we are working towards an open source document. So what we are going to do is we are going to use innovation that has been done on single cells, which are ourselves also now doing, and use that for stack design, and then make that open source so more research can be done on open source.
Right.
And I hear in Dan, yeah. Open source.
No, that's
where
not
the patents.
That's not necessarily a conflict with patents, but just wondering how are you going to recuperate your costs, and who are your customers? If you could elaborate on that in particular.
Like for the customers, we wouldn't have like an end customer, to be honest, but like the people who can use it would be like companies who can eventually use this technology, or governments who can use this technology, or even other research facilities that can do more research on it. So it's not like we are going to make the product for an end customer, but we are going to provide the information we found so more people can use this technology, so we can speed up the energy transition.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Can you give the microphone to Koen for the next question?
Thank you for the idea. I really like it. Actually, currently we have a research student doing his thesis as well on this kind of systems, on terminal energy systems. I just had a question. You're in the prototyping stage. Do you already have a prototype, and how will you verify your ideas with your end users?
So yeah, what we are now in the prototyping phase. So what we are doing now is just remaking like one single cell, and then using that to build a stack cell. And then after that, we can make that stack cell bigger and bigger, that end users or people who will use our open source document can use them.
Okay. So do you have something to show yet, or?
Well, we have like the end plates for the single cell right now.
Okay, I see.
You can have a look at it later.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, well, I will. Thank you.
Could you pass the mic on to Gustav, please? Yeah.
We were talking about having balls. So suppose I would come to you and I say, I have a fab ready.
That's it?
I have a factory, a fab
yeah.
ready, and I want to produce these things. What are you going to put forward as proving points so that I can industrialize the stuff? what are the elements that are critical to performance, and how far are you with proving that they will last 10 years in a car or whatever?
Yeah. So, like, for example, we haven't done ourselves experimental research, but we have found like most of the sources online that suggest that it is between 10 or 20 years that can be used. And for the factory exactly is the most important part would be the production of the membranes, because for the rest it's just very simply said like 2 tanks and that can react with each other, and the reactants in those tanks are very basic chemical substances.
So you have drawings for me, so I can also produce the membranes from now on?
We have drawings, but I don't know, I don't think we have them brought in right now.
So we have to talk later on, you're not ready for that yet?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll come back to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. And then finally, a final question for Isabel.
Yes. So you have the platform, the open source platform, and your own development. How much are they dependent on each other? So can you work alone, or do you need the other? And what's the dependency?
Yes. So we are now collaborating with our projects like Fair Battery, who's also doing mostly research on redox flow batteries. And they have been working mostly with the membranes and the single cells, and we are going to use both that research and research we found online for them to make the stack cell that we can actually present at the end, at the open source. Sorry.
So you will put your results then back?
Yeah.
There's one interested, that's a good thing. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, and thank you, Goof. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay. You can, give it to me. Because I'm going to go forward MultiRotorResearch. Please come forward. You want to bring it? Oh, nice. Yeah, why not? As long as you can hold the microphone also, Siwe. Here you go.
Yeah, that's not a problem. It's not that heavy. It has to stay in the air, of course, right? So, yeah, so I'm Siwe Elfrink from MultiRotorResearch, and we're building advanced autonomous drones for industrial applications. So, go ahead with the questions.
First question is for Umberto.
Thanks. Also, well done that you brought your prototype in the prototyping phase. You mentioned at a certain point that the future, you see this application in different industries, like you mentioned agriculture, rescue, and maybe logistics, I don't know, like warehouse assurance, something like this. So you're mentioning very important industries and sectors with completely different dynamics. Where would you start and why?
Yeah, so what is, I think, really interesting also from our idea is that we are only focusing on the drone platform itself. So we are building an autonomous drone platform that you can send to certain types of coordinates. But we don't focus on what you put under the drone. So whether you want to have, for example, a multispectral camera to do advanced imaging of agriculture field, then you can put that under a drone. Or you want to use a 3D scanner to scan in a certain bridge, then you can put that under our drone. So basically we are building the drone itself and what you put under it, and for which application you want to use it, that's up to the customer to decide. But we can of course help him integrate their payload into our system.
Yeah? Could you pass the microphone to Bart?
Yes, thanks. What I was wondering, why base yourself on human performance in drone flying, since you mentioned yourself in your very nice pitch that you managed to get your drone up in a tree in 15 minutes?
Yeah, so the thing is, humans are actually currently the best drone pilots there are. But humans, of course, make mistakes. And so what we do is we train on human flying behavior, but we don't train the mistakes. We only train the things that humans are good in. Because I, for example, myself do also drone racing. I can fly a drone at really high speeds between different kinds of trees. And sometimes it goes wrong because I make a mistake. But then we don't save that data. Only the data of the non-mistakes.
Where's the learning from the failures here?
All right. Okay, so if I get you correctly, you're using human behavior as a sort of benchmark and you try to outperform it, right? Or
No, we use, basically we gather a data set with the drone itself. So we literally flown this drone with a remote control through a bunch of different situations between trees, obstacles, all kinds of things like that. And we saved how I, as a human, performed the controls. How I, as a human, performed these controls, we then trained to an AI model. So the AI model learns to fly as me as a human. So it doesn't try to outperform me, it tries to clone my behavior, basically.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then maybe pass it on to Ronald.
Yes, Siwa, a question for me. I came back to this university where I started. I was part of the gliding club of this university, so I'm attached to the product. To the question, it's a bit related to the legal side of it, or the responsibility side of it. Suppose there is something goes wrong. Even humans make errors, but perhaps also your product. Yeah. Who is then liable for that? So suppose you hit and you make damage or even injury, who is then liable for that?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say, currently the drone does not have a parachute yet, but we are planning to, you can just buy off-the-shelf systems for this. So in the case something goes wrong, the drone won't just fall out of the sky, it will fall with a parachute, reducing the possibility of liability. But of course, that still means there is a possibility. And for us, it will be the company that is operating the drone is liable for the fault. Because they basically, our system is of course capable of avoiding obstacles. But if you should plan of course a route which doesn't avoid obstacles. Or which doesn't have obstacles. So a company of course shouldn't plan a route over a highway, for example. Because that's just pretty dumb to do. Because if it goes wrong, then you have a really big scenario. So, but we want to, in the future, also add functionality that customers can't easily do this. So, for example, you would have geo-fence locations. So, for example, at airports, you can't plan a route.
Well, thank you for your answer. Another sub-question. According to the jury, the current legislation does not allow autonomous moving objects like this. Are you aware of that, and how will you approach that?
Yeah, so in the current legislation you have something which is called beyond visual line of sight, flying, and currently there is an exception ruling in place. So for example, another company which is doing something very similar to us in the Netherlands has an exception to do fully autonomous flight without having a visual line of sight. So that the current legislation is being adapted to it, and so currently if you can prove that you can fly safe, you can do it in certain types of scenarios. So, but of course you can never fly it at an airport or something, but legislation is already pretty good in that sense.
I'm impressed. Thank you.
Nice. One last question. I see Gustav. Yes, me.
First, some advice. You should take an application. So don't make something general that won't work. So pick an application, mature, and then you have all the others. And I have one application for you. So think about greenhouses, and we are starting to put robots in greenhouses that pick leaves, or maybe tomatoes or cucumbers or whatever. And then the vision system is on the robot itself, so it's just ahead of the scissors or whatever. So the application I'm thinking of right now is this thing that flies up front of the robot and kind of verkennen, what's that in English? Explores the space already before the robot is there, so the robot doesn't find out itself with the camera on it, and it says move faster, the next 2 meters there's nothing, and there's something there. So pick that application, because I liked it, and specify on that.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. I think we should discuss these things later.
It's not just Dragon's Den, it's doing business now here. It's really nice. Okay, thank you so much, Siwa. Yay! And we hear the verdict later. Now it's up to you. And yeah, we have one more impression of the network market.
Something.
Yes, you can.
How is the network market working for you?
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It's very easy to get connected with the students.
we can also show what we can do to see really if there's another opportunity to collaborate even after the event. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm not holding you up, but thank you so much and enjoy.
Yeah,
thanks. Bye. Hi.
Hi.
Team Solids, what are you doing on the network market?
Well, just looking at companies from the speed dates and catching up with them, looking at partners we already knew and finding out new ones which we can collaborate and accelerate the energy transition with. So and also always good to find a good internship program, but that's a second point. Yeah.
It's nice companies here. We just talked to Novartis, want to talk to Organon. So really nice to see all these companies together in one place. And we hope to meet some new partners and make some people enthusiastic about our product.
We're enjoying it a lot. We are meeting a lot of teams that we already met before in the speed date event and online events. So I think the value of this network market is great, especially connected to the TUE context as a concept.
And are you looking forward to the contest?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to looking who is going to win. I think we have several prizes, like the #1 and an audience award, I think. For us, it's a little bit difficult to vote because multiple very good teams and initiatives. So I'm looking forward to meeting the winner.
We're going to the last category, student teams. And these are already kind of full teams ready for the market. And we're going to watch the first pitch by Team Daedalus.
In Greek mythology, Daedalus invented what people thought to be impossible. Today, in our team, we challenge the belief that drones cannot fly forever. We're developing a semi-autonomous solar-powered UAV capable of doing this, to be used as a sensor platform for a wide range of applications. From a tool for environmental monitoring to wildfire detection, as an aid for the provision of public safety through a capable and effective Coast Guard, as an asset for infrastructure companies to monitor offshore wind farms or highways. The social impact of this technology knows no bounds. Democratizing the power of drone monitoring for good, that's the purpose of our team, because we cannot depend on planes and helicopters to solve the issues of today.
Team Daedalus! Very modest. And here's Team iGEM!
Do you know that feeling of getting dizzy while standing up? Imagine you have this 24/7. 400 million people suffer from autoimmune diseases like this, all with different symptoms and treatments. And those treatments cause severe side effects, are often too late and very time-consuming. With iGEM, we have a solution. One injection of our lab-generated cells. As simple as a vaccination, and eventually applicable for every autoimmune disease. The cells automatically detect the severity of the disease and adjust the treatment accordingly. It is personalized, preventive, and it halves the workload of hospitals. We are now halfway towards our experimental design, and we strive, together with you, to innovate autoimmune disease therapies to help those 400 million people.
Do you know which is the windiest and coldest continent on Earth? Antarctica, right? But what if I tell you that this continent holds more than 80% of the world's fresh water? Arctic secrets, researchers need to travel through harsh conditions and terrain using fossil fuel vehicles, which make research expensive and polluting. Team Power tackles this by developing an autonomous and solar-powered rover which will facilitate cheaper and undisruptive to Antarctic's virgin nature research. But imagine all other places next to Antarctica where such rovers can be used. For the last 3 years, we have been validating our idea with researchers and started building a proof of concept. This prototype will be used as a learning point for the final vehicle, which will be built in 4 years and open sourced. Doing so, the whole community will benefit from exploring Antarctica and who knows what else.
It's so funny talking about Antarctica and then there's a freeze. What was that line, Emil?
Well, basically that line was explaining why it's important to explore Antarctica, and that researchers nowadays struggle a lot due to insufficient innovation in their equipment. And that's why we, Team Power, are developing an autonomous and solar-powered rover, which will facilitate greener and more autonomous research there.
Wow, all the lines still in the head. Team Polar! And from cold to the heat, Team Solid!
Hydrogen can play a huge role in the energy transition. However, storing and transporting hydrogen is dangerous and takes up lots of space. Hi, I'm Tijn, I'm from Solid, and we believe the solution lies in iron. Iron-based hydrogen storage. We use iron as a way to carry hydrogen under non-toxic and atmospheric conditions. Our externally validated models show that you can store hydrogen up to 3 times as compact, significantly safer, and 1.5 times as cheap as with conventional storage methods. With our fantastic team, we aim to finish our first 5 kilowatt installation at the end of this year. And at the start of 2023, we are scaling up. So, with your help, we can go on our mission to revolutionize the way hydrogen is stored. Thank you.
We are Team Test and our mission is to reduce mortality in sepsis. Sepsis is also well known in Dutch as bloedvergiftiging, which causes 1 in 5 deaths worldwide every year. Also, these patients always need an ICU treatment, which costs 30,000 euros a day per patient. However, the solution for this disease seems simple. With earlier detection and the right antibiotics, the likelihood of death decreased with 7.6% per hour. And here comes our solution, an IL-6 biosensor, which can help the general practitioners to make the decision between whenever the patient needs to the hospital immediately or a simple treatment at home. Our biosensor only needs a small sample of blood and can detect the sepsis within 5 minutes, which is much faster than the existing alternatives. To make this happen, we need you and your money.
Team Test! And the last one, Team
Who owns a car and drives daily with that car? The global transport sector is emitting 7.3 billion tons of CO2 emissions per year, from which 41% is from passenger cars only. Hi, my name is Louise de Laat. I'm team manager of the Ecomotive. With our partners and students from different backgrounds, we shape the future of sustainable mobility together. This year we produce a CO2-neutral car from scratch by implementing new technologies to reduce the emissions and to optimize the reusability and recyclability of our car. Car manufacturers are only looking at the use phase of that car, but we would like to inspire the automotive sector to look at the full life cycle of their vehicles. We have produced a lot of cars over the years, but we really would like to boost the Green Deal of the UE towards the automotive industry. So, let's continue this journey together with a road trip towards sustainability. Thank you.
Yay, Ecomotive! But now, it's time for the people at home to vote, because now we've seen all the categories. So do it on the button on the right side, and you only have a few minutes, so don't think too long. But I tell you when it's almost too late. But then, finally, I'll introduce the members of the jury for student teams. And first up is actually Paul Lerman from ASML. And yes, I have a question, of course. Because, well, most people know ASML as being the innovative leader in the semiconductor industry, building these machines that make microchips. But it's the biggest in the world, and you stay ahead. And I just want to know, how did you get there, and how do you maintain it? Can you share that secret with us?
I think we do know the secret recipe these days, but it wasn't easy. You can also compare notes with Gustav later, but it takes people working as a team, not being afraid to face challenges every day. So coming into work in the early days, you knew there were problems, and you hopefully solved some of them, and you came back the next day and you solved a few more. So innovation is a challenge. Being on the leading edge is a challenge. Yeah. But once you get there, you don't stop doing what got you there. You just keep doing it, and unfortunately, that also leads to continuous growth. So the next challenge will be, how do I maintain this when I'm doubling in size in the next 10 years?
That's going to be a hard one. But I really loved it because I was in the clean rooms and then having this whole team building this machine, but then with all different education and all these different disciplines, and they were actually all responsible. There was almost no hierarchy, and this was one of the successes, right, of
Very
ASML.
much so, yeah. So the teamwork is necessary, and I mean, COVID was a big challenge for us because we do a lot of things by getting groups of people together.
Yeah.
I mean, we even had one of our competitors study us at one point in the early days, and they said the difference between our competitor and us was we had all these informal discussions around the coffee machine. We'd be innovating on the whiteboard next to the coffee machine, and that teamwork, that camaraderie needs to come through in any group.
I remember setting up innovation space and we went to all these benchmarks and they all said coffee machine, coffee machine. The importance of a coffee machine is incredible, right?
And the coffee doesn't even have to be that good.
Don't say that because we want better coffee here. But thank you so much, Paul. Can you pass the microphone to Els Kok of Thermo Fisher Scientific? Yeah, I was thinking maybe I do briefly say something about Thermo Fisher, and then I was on the website again and seeing applications and techniques. Then the whole page was full. So maybe you can say something about the region, because you're also very active in the region as Thermo Fisher.
Yeah, that's right. And in Eindhoven, what we do here is we have an R&D and a manufacturing side. So we do design and manufacture high-end microscopes, electron microscopes. And those are, for instance, used to image the coronavirus, which we're all familiar by now. And things like developing more efficient batteries, for instance. And the worldwide team is more than 80,000 employees of Thermo Fisher, but that's across multiple divisions. But our shared mission is to make the world cleaner, healthier, and safer. And that's why it's really great to see so many ideas of student teams and ideation and prototyping teams that are related to exactly that mission of making the world cleaner, healthier, and safer. So that's great.
And next to you, Rogier Reserveur, you're from Medtronic. Actually kind of in the same mission. I was thinking, because we have this team census and they set up this yearly student competition also in the medical world, and actually to enthusiast students, and probably that's also what you want, or you both want, to make them enthusiastic about all the possibility technologies within the healthcare and medical world, right?
Absolutely. It is very inspiring to see all these enthusiastic students and to be participating in the TUE contest. And we at Medtronic have the slogan, engineering the extraordinary. So it's also very inspiring for smart engineers here from the TUE. Yeah. And our mission is very impactful also to extend life, to restore health, and to alleviate pain. So you can have a very big impact also applying your technical skills at Medtronic. Yeah. And just to mention a few high-tech examples, robotics, miniature of minimal invasive surgeries, brain sensing, a pill cam that takes images, so a lot of data analytics also, and machine learning. So lots of stuff that can be of interest to very good engineers at Medtronic.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Please give the microphone to Kees de Wijs of Fokker Wessels. It's a leading international construction company, and it operates according to the Think Global, Act Local principle. But I'm thinking these student teams are now ready for the market, but the world market. Maybe you can say something. What is your advice when you're going to start work globally?
I think to have an open mind. I heard that earlier. But I think if you want to be effective internationally, you have to have an open mind, not just technology-wise, but also culturally and socially. And I think that if that's what students take up here, together with insightful know-how on technology, I think they have a very good basis to become successful professionals that we need. And we rely heavily in terms of acceleration of our infrastructure to remove the backlog on infrastructure maintenance, to build more houses, not just in the Netherlands, but across Europe. We rely heavily on people who can connect technology with more efficient production lines. So We count on you guys. Yeah.
You can count on us. And we are improving every day, every second. Next up, Walter Kersberger from PricewaterhouseCoopers. Well, together with Ernst & Young, one of the big 4 accounting firms. But it is about audit and assurance, but also consulting, corporate governance. And I thought maybe you can say something about the combination from your expertise of technology and business.
Yeah, sure. I think PwC, we really think in a future of human-led, but also tech-driven. So that's really important, technology. But you can't have technology on its own. As already mentioned, you need to connect it with something else. And then we think we need to connect it with business also. Really look about what's the added value of technology. Don't only focus on technology, especially here, the smart guys focusing all the time on technology. Also keep in mind what's the added value for a customer, for a market, or for society. And I really like this place, the innovation space, because it really connects the technology with the business, but also with the experience. And I think those 3 are really important to bring technology further.
Yeah, well, the doors are always open, so not just today, that you know. And then please give the microphone to Bart Koppelmans. He's actually part of the TUE Innovation Space team.
Yes.
And you're within the team and actually helping all the students throughout the years. And as Gert was already saying, we're professionalizing also within the contest. And what do you see? Where can we still help students a bit more? Or what can we do better in the future? Because, you know, we also practice what we preach, right?
Yeah, indeed. So in the end, everything we're doing with the TUE contest, in general at the TUE, is about learning. So we're trying to facilitate the learning process as much as possible and allow them to experience the things that they're doing, both on an educational level, but also on an entrepreneurial level. And that is one of the things that we try to see every year. How can we improve the things that they are learning? How can we improve the things that they are doing? And one of the things this year was the pitch progress sessions, where they could also pitch what they were actually working on and get feedback so that they can also learn from that, go back into the world, and a few weeks later they can show us what they learned. So it's a way of education, masked as an entrepreneurial experience, and it works great. I mean, look around, it works in some way.
They're doing really well. And they probably want to know who's going to be on stage next. So please give your microphone to Robert-Jan, or come forward. Now, we do it with my microphone. Because it's the last category, Robert-Jan. Yeah, but you didn't take any other stuff off. That's maybe good.
I was thinking of opening a button here, but let's not get carried away now.
It is 26 degrees, I guess, though. But yeah, still.
Oh, it's interesting. I was this morning at an event in Leiden, a global event about impact of universities. And it's fascinating to see how many universities are wrestling to look for their role in society and for impact. And I told you, come to Eindhoven, come to Innovation Space. Here you see what impact is all about.
This is a bit of gossip, I was so surprised when I heard that Leiden was one of the stupidest areas in the world. Or no, in Holland, sorry, I'm exaggerating now. And I thought, but they have a university and stuff like that. But then turned out that Eindhoven region was the smartest. So yeah, here they need to come, right?
You say that as a surprise.
Yeah, I'm from that area, so yeah, I was a bit... No, I am... see, I'm stupid. I'm actually the example of it.
Let's not keep this...
No, okay. The teams. The first one up. Robert-Jan.
Well, solid.
Solid! Well done. And the last announcement, Robert-Jan.
TUE Komodo.
TUE Komodo! Congratulations. Thank you. Have a seat because we're going to watch them. First, Team Solid, please come forward for I give you this microphone. Do you want to say something briefly before you start, or we're just going to start with...
No, I suggest let's get in right away. Yeah.
All right. Rogier, I think you were the one that had a question about Solid.
Yes, about the technical feasibility of your solution. On what do you base the capability of storing hydrogen in iron?
So we have a couple of reports that we worked on this year. We're going to publish in a couple of months a full techno-economic feasibility report on the entire feasibility from an economic to a technical standpoint. The feasibility of the entire concept of storing hydrogen in iron was already proven. It was done on lab scale already by Tata Steel, with which we are collaborating. Chris Coy is a researcher we've often worked with over the past year. And the installation we are building now is 50 times as big as ever been done before. So the technical feasibility of the concept is proven on lab scale, and it is a challenge to scale it up and get it to market, which we are doing.
Yeah, thank you.
And the next up was Paul? No, sorry, it's the wrong... Who was the next that had a question? I kind of lost it, to be honest.
No problem, I have a question at least. So, I really believe in hydrogen as a part of the transition. But I was really curious. Transporting iron across a country doesn't seem sustainable. And if I look at a competitive technology, which is a liquid one, liquid carrier, I was really thinking about why. Why should we use iron?
Yeah, great question. So there are a lot of different hydrogen carriers that can be used right now. One of the most obvious ones, and that we know of, is just liquid and, well, gaseous hydrogen. But the storage capabilities of tanks in which we can transport them are really quite low. Well, then people say, we have a hydrogen grid in the Netherlands in the backbone. We can use that. But 80% of the companies in the Netherlands are not going to be hooked up to that hydrogen grid in 2030, and 60% are still not going to be hooked up to that grid in 2050. So we need a way to transport that hydrogen. And iron, not only are the Port of Rotterdam and major companies used to transporting those goods. I mean, you can exchange coal by just transporting iron. And in that way, you can transport a lot of hydrogen. I mean, you can store 4 times as much hydrogen in a cubic meter of iron as you can if you just would store it on the 700 bars. And it isn't flammable, it isn't explosive, it is non-toxic, it is non-corrosive. So it's a much safer and also cheaper way to store it and thus also transport it.
Maybe you can first pass it on to Kees.
Yeah, I was wondering, you mentioned that you were ready to scale up in 2023, next year. Could you elaborate a little bit more on your scaling activity and the timeline related to that?
Yeah, so at the end of 2022, our first reactor is going to be ready, which is a reactor that's going to take that iron and water and create hydrogen, which is one part of the cycle. And we're going to develop that entire process in-house. In 2023, we're going to scale up that process, and we're already looking for partners to build a consortium with and to co-develop the technology. And currently, we're working with an investor in order to realize a big pilot installation about the entire concept in the harbor of Rotterdam in 2026. And we are going to talk to that harbor soon already. About the other part of the cycle, we're not going to develop that in-house because that entire regeneration cycle is already there. I mean, Tata Steel, major steel industries are already working on that technology. So we're going to start partnerships in order to integrate that entire cycle such that we can start a startup once the pilot project is ready in 2026.
Thank you. Okay. And Paul, you had a question?
So clearly we've already moved beyond the feasibility and moving towards implementation. So I was looking at how your hybrid model would look like when you start rolling this out. So I mean, I could easily see where you would do it at the Port of Rotterdam and you'd have end-to-end from producing the hydrogen, putting it into the storage, transporting it to someplace nearby that's going to then be used. How do you see that as that migrates further? Are you targeting a specific industry? Specific end users? How do you see that?
Well, the concept that we are developing, it consists of 2 different systems right now. So you can set up a system which we are doing right now in order to transport that iron and to create a system in which there's an entire concept around, for example, generating that hydrogen in the Middle East where it is cheap, transporting that to Rotterdam and converting it into hydrogen there, or transporting it even further with inland shipping or freight in order to get that to the companies. We have a couple of different sections we are working towards. The feedstock industry is a big one. Creating fertilizers needs green hydrogen, which we can supply by supplying that iron. But what we can also do, and then we're going to look at, for example, the mobility sector, is that we can integrate our technology into refueling stations, creating a system that has hydrogen in, hydrogen out. But if the system is not running, you only have iron and water, such that it is safe. So you can both make a really large transport implementation or make a safe hydrogen battery, which can be used in almost any industry.
Thank you.
And you can always brew beer, right? That's also a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, if you still want one, we have a couple of beers left in our office from Bavaria, so come by our office to grab a couple of beers, yeah.
Thank you so much, Nick of Team Solid. All right. And Louise, please come forward. TU Ecomotive. Do you want to say something in advance, or shall we start with
I'm very happy and pleased to stand here, so thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yeah.
It's all up to you and your team, right?
Yeah,
you did it yourself. That's the whole thing.
We are with 40 students, also from Fontes, Avans, and also from the TU, of course. So we are a very nice atmosphere for hardworking students. Nice. Happy to be part of it as a team manager. Yes.
Ready for the questions?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, the final questions. I think Bart had a question for you.
Indeed, I do. So my first question would be, if looking at for your business model around the car, what exactly are your, to use another buzzword, your unique selling points? So what specific things about the car are you building your business case around?
Yeah. Good question, thank you. We are looking at the full life cycle of a car, and it's very important because we really would like to motivate every scenario of our car to be CO2 neutral. So car manufacturing, driving phase and end of life has to be zero net eventually, and we're doing that by implementing smart techniques. Starting by car manufacturing, we are building our car with a lot of partners, but we also require to partner to be very sustainable by helping us with the LCA values. And LCA stands for life cycle analysis, and with that data from those partners, we calculate eventually the car and the footprint of the car. And then in driving phase, there the magic happens because we implement a very smart system to capture the CO2 out of the air while driving. So then we reduces the footprint from the car manufacturing in the driving phase, and we really would like to steer to be negative eventually. And then the end of life, because right now in the car industry, we see that a lot of companies and car manufacturers are looking at how are going to break down my car easily as possible. So we implemented design for recycling to really implement a smarter way to reuse and recycle the materials that we implement in our car.
Thank you.
Okay. Els, Paul, yes, can you pass it on?
Thank you. How are you... what is going to be the cost structure of the car that you will be making, and what is then the target customer who is going to pay for that car?
Good question, thank you very much. Right now we are in the proof of concept stage for this, so we are looking at how smart we can build a car. The next phase is indeed to look at whom we are going to sell. So theory and our technology is something that we can share to car manufacturing, but also the way how we calculate the LCA is something that a lot of industries can learn from it. And eventually the buyer of the car, you look at Lightyear. Lightyear have now a car of 250,000 euros. I'm a student, I cannot buy it. But eventually we really would like to have as much as people that can drive in CO2 neutral cars to make the Earth and planet a better place. Yeah.
Maybe Gustav from the other jury wants one. Paul, do you also have a question?
So thank you for all your enthusiasm. I like the idea. I'm interesting to understand how you're going to scale this up into manufacturing, because I don't want the first car.
No.
Knowing about minimum viable products, I want like your 500,000th car off the production line. When will that be?
Good question, because we already developed a lot of other different cars with other topics, and right now it is up to the next team to really look at the car. Hey, are they going to make it road legal, yes or not? Are they going to stay with the CO2 neutrality? But what I really like about Telecommotive that we every year we innovate within a different subject of automotive sustainability. So I cannot give a clear answer to that question.
Is it because of the faults that are still involved, or because then it's cheaper, like a Lightyear in 2 years is only 34,000? Or
well, you'll look at some of the electric cars. The first ones you didn't want because they still have teething pains. So I want one that's further down the line, so that I'm not like sitting on the side of the road with my CO2-free vehicle.
Is there any other last questions, or Els? Yeah.
Yeah, I had another question. In your pitch, you mentioned that you want to challenge the existing car manufacturers, the existing automotive industry, to be more open about their carbon footprint, right? Per vehicle, per car.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
Yeah, we are already spoken with Group Renault, so we have already a starting point. So we pitched it our story and our goal and our target. And we are also on the target as well, and we can share notes and ideas how to improve those and lower those LCA values. So by that we challenge also car manufacturers by speaking to them directly, but also by globally share our concept with the large public.
And could you somehow convince them or challenge them to publish their carbon footprint, so that you have a benchmark or comparison between different
I sparked the
brands?
motivation at Group Renault during that meeting. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they will do it as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And congratulations for being here. Yes, for you, it's the time to deliberate on this final decision. I wish you all the best of luck with that. But also for the viewers at home, because you really need to vote now. The lines are now closing, just vote for the Audience Award. We have a lot of prizes to hand over, but one of them is the Audience Award, and that's what you decide. So please think who should win, what team, and in what category, what team should win. Then, last year, we had one of the winners of the student teams was Team Heart. And at that time, they were still kind of starting, and also their prototype, what they were working on, looked a bit different than it looks today. So I like to call forward Ben van Esseling. Where are you? Oh, you're here. Yay.
Thanks, Isolde.
Hey. Welcome.
It's been a year. Yeah, it's fun to be back again.
Yeah, this is actually the winning moment of your team, handed out by Fruitpunch.ai, a previous winner.
2 years ago already, yeah.
Yeah, by Buster. But then it looked actually a bit different, because then we saw, it's a bit in this phase, so to say. But how is it going with the sleeve?
So we're actually 1.5 years old as a team. So
maybe a short explanation for the people that don't know actually what it is. Maybe let's start with that.
So I'm in Team Heart, and we focus on human augmentation. And to make it really simple to what we do is, I want to give a simple example. So back in the days, pirates used to wear parrots on their shoulders. And that wasn't because they were cool. That was because the parrot could feel barometric pressure. So the parrot could actually sense when a storm was coming. And he could convey that information to the pirate.
Har, 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 I didn't know that information.
So that's actually where the idea of human augmentation comes from, is combining technology and the human body to convey information to the body. And that's actually what we're doing.
I only knew the canary in the coal mine, but I didn't know about the parrot.
That's also perfectly.
Yeah. But you didn't choose the bird, though.
This one isn't alive. It's not animal use. Yeah. So what you can see here is a sleeve with vibration motors in it, which basically sends haptic information to the skin. And if you train this often enough, your brain starts to interpret this information and the data that's basically hidden behind it. Yeah. So in any sense,
like Braille, you actually learn also how to...
Yeah, it's actually active Braille to your arm. Yeah. And currently we're testing it with language. So there's actually a person in our team that completely understands this language. She can wear this sleeve and she can understand what you're saying through vibrations.
So then I would type like, hello, Ben, and then you feel like, hello, Ben.
I would feel it vibrating right here.
Oh, wow.
So it might be a bit overwhelming in the beginning, but it's really fun to test. But in the end, people can start gaining any information they want through the sleeve. So not language, but if, for example, if you're really into the stock market, you could wear this sleeve and at any point know what the stock market is doing.
So it's you can customize to any kind of data or...
You can do with it whatever you want.
So what are then the future plans with this?
So that's actually pretty cool. So we're actually at the forefront of human augmentation. We've had meetings with the leading researchers on this field who were at this point a couple of years back, and they're researching some other stuff. Yeah. And currently we're looking at language, but also non-verbal communication. So we're working together with, for example, blind people. And if you're talking to them, they can't see vital clues like you're nodding or you're smiling. And in that way, we're trying to convey that sort of information to a blind person.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, was it good? Because last year you won. What?
It was really good. Yes.
Do you have some advice for the winners to be actually in winning, or what to do with the money, or how to handle it, or?
We're right here in the innovation space, so just keep innovating, and that's what we're really good at here. One year ago, we looked like this. We couldn't dream of having something that looked way better, worked way better, was more versatile. It's a wearable thing now. If I hook up my laptop to it, it actually works. We started user testing with it, so it's something that a lot of teams you can actually make a lot of progress. And I've seen a lot of teams do that actually here today, so it's really cool to see.
Really nice. Thank you so much for sharing. And also it's so nice to hear that it doesn't stop here at the contest, but it's continuously developing, innovating, and yeah.
Absolutely. This contest is a really nice intermediate point, and winning it is really nice to stimulate any things going into the next year. But it doesn't stop here. These teams will keep on innovating, and I love to see that. Yeah.
And is there also a space, we have all these categories, but you can work on this, but then also start with a new idea and start with an ideation again? Is that an option?
You can completely go back again. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Go back, it's also kind of going forth.
You learn a lot of stuff going into a student team. You learn so much important stuff also for later in life. Yeah. You can start a new student team if you want and completely backtrack to ideation. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people do it. I know a lot of people here are actually doing it. So,
okay. Thank you so much, Ben, for sharing this. Yay! Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. To the next one. Yeah.
See you next year, maybe.
Yeah, maybe next year with a new thing, or with the development of this one. Could also be. Ha ha ha. Yes, it's time for the awards. But we have more awards, not only in the categories, but we have more prizes. So first of all, I would like to call in all the student teams. Please come in and give them an applause.
Robert, kan me deze microfoon dadelijk meenemen?
Yes, it's a little bit squeezing, but I love it so much that we're back like in being live and that we're all together here and with all the students. It's really great to see. It's probably a nice position, right, to be on the couch instead of standing here. Yeah. Now you can kind of relax. Well, not in a way, because we're going to go to the awards, and we have many of them, and we're going to start with the Impact Award. So I like to go forward. Mieke Thuis, please come forward.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Mieke, welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
Can you say something about this award?
We are a foundation, and we support projects or ideas about sustainability and education locally, and that's why we support one prize today.
Yeah, nice. It's also 5,000 euros, right? There's money involved.
I'm
something.
Sorry, I'm not really sure.
Well, money, you know,
it's
whatever.
money.
But what were the criteria then?
Yeah, so we look at sustainability, circular economic, and education.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to announce now who the winner is?
Because we would really like an environment without any packaging anymore. So no more glass packaging reused. So PAKT is the winner of the prize.
Yay! All of you. On the stage. Yeah, on the stage. The stage is yours, people.
On the stage.
Also, learning that the stage is yours is also in the learning. It is actually 5,000 euros, so that's a good thing. Great. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, we're really grateful and for the acknowledgement as well. And we're going to use this money to actually indeed remove the packaging. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well deserved.
Congratulations and thanks, Mieke. We're going to go to the next one, and this is the 4TU Wildcard. And this team will represent our university in the competition against the 4 technical universities. And this time, again, it will be at Slush. Slush is incredible. It's a big, I don't know if you know it, but it's in Finland. And teams are competing. It's the biggest entrepreneurial event, I think, no, I don't know, in the world. I'm a bit exaggerating. And actually, Lightyear was years ago was also pitching there. We'll see what can come out of it. And now we're going to hear it from Bart van Grevenhof from the Gate. Please come forward. Oh, here. Maakt niet uit. How many microphones do you want, Bart?
No, just the one is okay.
Hello. Do it stereo. It's very new tech. Hi, Bart. And for the people that don't know, that are not aware of the Gate, very important for the students.
Yeah, we're pretty young. So the Gate is the startup support office for the Brainport. And we help tech startups get the optimal and first support in a really early stage. And we do that for startups from the region, researchers, and of course, for students.
Yeah, very important. Haha. But now you're going to announce who will represent.
Yeah, who will represent us? And I want to refer to what the president of the board said, that the student teams are the heart and soul. Yeah. So we looked for a student startup who really represents that in their team, in their ID, and in their potential impact. Yeah. And we didn't choose from all these teams, but we chose another one.
Mm-hmm, okay, yeah. Yes, also possible.
Team Aristotle.
Team Aristotle,
yeah.
Okay. Team...
That's nice.
Congratulations, Maurits. Only one flower is needed here for Maurits. Maurits, you can put them on the ground. Yes. Last year you won an award, and actually not going to Slush, but in the end you did go already. But now you know, you've seen the team, so now you know how to do it. What's your strategy this time?
Yeah, that's also true. So last time we were a bit early on in the phase, so the focus was not that good as it is right now. So we try to focus on what we do, so also the operations of the team, and more align that with the communication that we have over there, so the network and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's a really great opportunity, and thank you, Bart, and thank you, The Gate, and everyone here too.
And also for the people that don't know it, because he wasn't, of course, in this whole thing. But Maurits and his team started in innovation space as being doing a master course, innovation space project. And then they started collaborating with football club PSV. And they said, yeah, we need a better cognitive training tool. And then they actually made it. PSV dropped their professional training tool and actually started collaborating with these guys. They developed it, and now you're going sky high, man. It's really... but that's from it. You started with 4 other persons in this course, not knowing each other, and now you're huge, man.
Yeah, we're 19 people now, so it's very great, and it's also nice that Fondes is also part of it. So we get students from Fondes that can also graduate with us. So it's very Brainport based, everything that we do. So it's very nice to find interesting partners and work along with them.
Yeah, really cool. Well, the best of luck. And hopefully you come back as a winner, right?
Bring it back in Eindhoven.
Maurits with his team, Aristotle! And we have another wild card to give out, and this is going to be handed out by Gert Gouri. Gert Gouri, please come forward. Yeah! Hello.
Hello.
Gert, what can you say about what you've been thinking of, who should we represent, and whether it's one of the teams participating now here or else? Or
Yeah, I mean, finding a team, it's never easy. So that's most probably everybody already mentioned. And we are...
Well, in a literal way, because there's 52 now here, right?
Yeah, also for that. But in a while, we are thinking about a team that has a good capacity to grow. It has a clear, let's say, technology to develop, and it can make an impact. Yeah. So that's the most important part of it. And out of this, we thought about Team Shift.
Oh! Come forward.
Oh, thank you.
Ivo can hold them. Can you ask Gert if Ivo or any others want to say something?
Can you say something?
Sure. And then you hold the microphone under that's the idea. But he doesn't have a voice, but still try it.
I'll try my best still. Yeah, thanks a lot. I must say we didn't expect this. So I'm really surprised that we got the opportunity to win this Impact Award. And thank you for the faith in us to have an impact.
Believing in hydrogen solutions. Thank you for believing in hydrogen solutions.
And but if you think like you didn't expect, there is always a second candidate, huh? So don't take it.
No, we're glad to take it. Thank you.
And it's in November, so you still have time to develop and maybe find partners and go a bit further, and then we can win there. Actually.
We'll do some more networking after this.
Yeah, with the last bit of voice that you still have.
Exactly.
Okay, give it up for Ship! Thank you so much, and thank you, Gert. Yeah, I'll give him the microphone. Yeah. Because we have another award from the start, actually, of the contest, which is the ASML Makers Award. Please come forward. I think it's... Oh, Floris, from the other side. Please come forward. I'm very happy because you're in this from the start of the TUE contest.
I believe so. 7 years.
Yes. And what can you briefly say something about the award or your criteria?
Yeah, I think, from my own experience, the reward, the journey started 7 years ago. And what a journey it was. So many great things I have experienced due to winning the award. Founding a company, meeting partners, picking up the phone to find somebody who can do it already. And great to be here again.
Yeah. And you're going to announce the winner now, right?
I believe so.
You have, you've got the message.
Let me see if I can read it.
Maybe we have a little roffeltje? Yes.
So the ASML Makers Award 2022 goes to XR Designers.
XR Designers! It's you can give it all to Arjo. Congratulations, Arjo.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited to get this. I don't know what I've got, but it looks really pretty. Yeah.
Well, Floris, you can tell a little bit more about...
I can tell you about the little award you got there. It's the Thinker of Rodin. And the reason for giving you this print, and I know this because I got the same thing 7 years ago, is that there wouldn't be a thinker without the maker, because then it would just be a piece of stone still. And we see both arise in you. You're capable of thinking, creating an idea, but then also you can shape it, develop it, and that's why you're here right now, I would say.
Thank you.
Being a
Congratulations.
designer, Rodin is in right hands, right? Do you want to say something?
What I would like to say, I'm really excited to continue working on it. If you know someone, or if you're someone yourself who wants to program, or who knows how to use Unity, send us a message, and I'm really excited to start working together.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're not to miss with your hair and your length, so that's a good thing. Yeah. Thank you so much. Give it up for Arjo. Thank you, Floris. Thank you. Yes. Thanks. Right. Before we go to the first category, there's another one, which is the Audience Award. So this is where the audience has voted for, and I'd like to call forward for Showbox, Catherine Williamson. Please come forward. Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for organizing, producing, doing so much. Most of you probably know Catherine already, or by email, or in any other way.
Yeah.
And you're the one telling us, what the audience has been voting, both here, online, and here, live.
Exactly. Yeah. The friends of the students, the family, the people watching at home, but of course also the coaches have had quite some time to decide who they wanted to vote for. So there were some votes already casted during the network market that we had, but of course also during the show. Should I get right to it?
Yes, let's do the roffeltje. The winner of the Audience Award
is team, iGEM, with 2,500 votes.
Oh, iGEM!
Please come forward. In total, a lot of people voted, so everyone did a great job at inviting their friends and family to vote, especially you. Congratulations.
Yeah, is that what you actively did? Ask everybody, yeah, vote for us, yeah?
Indeed, it is amazing, because also one of our missions this year was to get iGEM more known within the university, but also besides. And, well, that worked out. So a big thank you for all people that voted, also at home. Yeah.
Nice. It's putting a mission and then wham, this is what happens, right? Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to say?
No, just that we are...
Maybe thanks to all the partners that helped us during the road towards the finals. So without you, we couldn't have done it, and also for your vote. So thank you very much. We're very happy.
Also the other team members which are sitting inside our room at Traverse. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So much, iGEM. Thank you, Catherine. Right, it's time for the first category, ideation, and I'd like to call forward the chairman of the jury, Robert-Jan Smits. Please come to the stage. The fact that you're wearing everything again, is it that was less hard, or it's just that, you know, for the final thing it's better to actually wear a suit?
For the final thing, it's always good to wear a suit.
Okay, do you want to say something in general, or are you gonna go to the roffeltje?
It was tough. It was very difficult. Fantastic projects, fantastic ideas. So it's really, really difficult to make a decision. But a decision was taken.
Then the roffeltje already started. We like to know who is the winner in the category Ideation.
And the winner is Shift.
Shift, another prize. Come. Wow, Ivo, it's very hopeful, huh? That even if you have no voice, but you have balls, that you can do all this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I didn't expect to be on stage twice during the award ceremony, but thank you very much. I'd like to very much thank all of our partners during the TUE contest who helped us out to basically form our idea. Also, our partners outside of TUE contest, we have a lot of talks with different companies who did not participate here. Maybe a suggestion for them for next year to also participate here, because I think it can be valuable for them as well. And last but not least, innovation space, right? They made it all possible. They made it possible that we are a student team, so the rest of our team, we're very grateful to Innovation Space. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, and congratulations! Yeah, it's nice for the pictures. All right, and then again, I have to call forward Robert-Jan Smits, because we already go to the next category, and he is getting a fresh envelope, right? It's fresh from the press. Yeah.
Very fresh indeed.
Yes, it was probably difficult, right?
In
this case.
No, it was also there. I mean, we heard earlier on, you know, the quality of the proposals are getting better. The pitches are first class. You can really see over the years an enormous improvements. Yeah. And so therefore it's tough for the jury. Yeah. But again, also here, the jury has reached a verdict.
Yes. Which is, in the category prototyping, the winner is...
MultiRotor.
MultiRotorResearch! Wow, this is really nice. And what I also like, that it's very clear in what category you actually won, bringing actually the prototype on stage. So is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, I'm really thankful for, of course, Innovation Space making it all possible, and also for the jury for choosing us, of course. And I really think that this 5,000 euros can help us getting a long way in making drones making drones better and making drones change the world. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Picture moment. Yeah. And great that this Sinterklaas trauma has turned into this great ending. That's really nice. And then the last one. The student team category. Oh, yes, I see you being very, very nervous. But yeah, we still need the president for this, right? Do you see if he gets the envelope? Yes, he has the envelope. Yes! I'd like to go forward to the chairman of the jury, Robert Jan Smit.
Thanks a lot.
Final one, and a big one. I mean, literally, all student teams-wise, in how big they are, etc.
Again, a difficult choice. Yeah. But what's something which we should perhaps first do before we are handing this out? Yeah. A lot of the people who made their pitch, they all thanked, of course, Innovation Space. Yeah. And I think we should give a warm applause to the whole team at Innovation Space, including yourself.
Yes, and well, then TUE, thank you for making TUE Innovation Space possible then. It's a lot of thank yous over and weer, that's nice.
It's a good feeling, and that's what is needed.
Yeah. All here to help, to collaborate, and go forward. Yeah.
Certainly. Nice. So, shall I go for it?
Yes, go for it. We go for the roffeltje. And the winner in the category student team is...
Rock Solid. Solid.
Solid! Yeah, for this we should have had the song Solid as a Rock. Any of you want to say something?
Yes, really big thank you. I wasn't, we started this project at the start of this year, completely new, and we weren't thinking what was possible, but seeing now and standing here on the stage, I'm really glad that we made a step and participated, so yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You also want to say something? Yes, I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, to see that not only we, but 2 hydrogen teams out of the 3 categories won this year, that says something. I mean, people believe in the energy transition that something really needs to happen. So I'm just really glad that we're here and that we, with Innovation Space and just the university, can set an example and realize those innovative concepts which can really change the world. So, yeah.
Yeah. Please stay on stage. All the winners come to the stage for the final picture. Please, all the winners come to the stage. All of you. And yes, and then there's a moment to thank the partners again. I said it at the start, you also help in educating the engineers of the future to collaborate and do all this together. Thank you so much for your support. And all the teams, give it up for all the teams that actually participated in the contest, doing great stuff. Well done. And thank you, people at home, for watching, for supporting them, for voting, and for the final picture. Yes, there's gonna be, but it's what I really wanted. I ordered this. Which camera? What camera? Here. Yeah, in the back. And then I'm gonna count down, because there's confetti, because I like pictures with confetti. Yeah. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh! One didn't really go, right? But it was always failure. That's great. I don't know what happened there, but congratulations. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. We're all going to go there to have a drink. And we've got 3 more prizes. So who knows? In 5 minutes, there's 3 more prizes. See you there, and thanks for watching. Bye.